Hey everyone, today we're diving into something a bit different. Let's be real. When you think of Canada, you probably think of maple syrup, hockey, and people being so darn polite they apologize to inanimate objects. It's a stereotype, but it's got some truth to it. And while you're not wrong, there's a whole other side to Canada that's just waiting to be explored. A side that's, well, let's just say a tad eccentric. From quirky street performers to bizarre local traditions, we've got it all. We're talking about a land where you can find more lakes than you can shake a hockey stick at, and trust me, that's a lot of lakes. Where saying sorry is practically an art form, and it's not just a joke, it's a way of life here. And where you can visit a UFO landing pad. Yes, you heard that right, a UFO landing pad. It's as weird and wonderful as it sounds. So buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to dive headfirst into 10 weird and wonderful facts about Canada that will leave you wondering if we haven't been secretly spiking the maple syrup. Get ready for a wild ride. Okay, first up, let's talk lakes. And no, I'm not talking about that puddle your neighbor calls a swimming pool. I'm talking about real bona fide, holy crap, that's a lot of water lakes. See, Canada has this teeny tiny claim to fame. We have more lakes than the rest of the world, combined. That's right, folks, we're basically the biggest owner of freshwater real estate. From the Great Lakes, which, let's be honest, are aptly named, to countless smaller lakes scattered across the country. You can't throw a beaver tail in Canada without hitting some H2O. Scientists say it's all thanks to our glacial history, but I like to think it's because we Canadians just really, really love a good swim. Or maybe it's the perfect place to hide from the giant spiders we have up here. Just kidding, mostly. Now, you've probably heard that Canadians apologize a lot, like a lot. But did you know that in Ontario we took our love for sorry to a whole new level? That's right, folks, we have something called the Apology Act. And no, it's not a law that forces you to apologize for being awesome, though let's be real, sometimes it feels that way. The Apology Act basically says that if you apologize for something, it can't be used against you in court. So, if you accidentally bump into someone on the street and blurt out a sorry before you even realize what you're doing, you're good. It's like a get-out-of-jail-free card for awkward encounters. And trust me, in a country as polite as Canada, those happen a lot. Alright, let's talk about Churchill, Manitoba. Now, this place is about as Canadian as it gets. Remote, rugged, and home to more polar bears than people. But here's the kicker. Churchill has no roads. That's right, you heard me correctly. No roads. So how do you get there, you ask? Well, you got two options, boat or snowmobile. It's basically like living in an action movie. Except instead of dodging explosions, you're dodging polar bears. But hey, who needs roads when you have breathtaking scenery, incredible wildlife, and the chance to say you've been to a place that's basically off the grid? Just watch out for those polar bears, okay? The Whiskey War, because even Canadians get thirsty for a good battle of booze. Okay, this next one is a bit of a wild ride. Buckle up because we're diving into a story that's as amusing as it is unexpected. So, picture this, Canada and Denmark, two of the most peace-loving countries on Earth, locked in a bitter whiskey war? Yes, you heard that right. A whiskey war. You might think I've been hitting the maple syrup a little too hard, but I swear I'm being serious. This is a real thing that happened. This whole thing went down over a tiny, desolate island in the Arctic called Hans Island. It's not exactly a tropical paradise, but it became the center of a quirky international dispute. Both countries claimed it as their own, and for decades they engaged in a hilarious and surprisingly polite battle of passive aggression. Imagine a standoff where the weapons of choice were flags and bottles of booze. They'd raise their flags, leave bottles of whiskey and schnapps for each other, and basically just try to out-nice each other. It was like a friendly game of one-upmanship, but with alcohol. It wasn't until 2022 that they finally called a truce and agreed to split the island. After years of this good-natured rivalry, they decided to share the land equally. So the next time you're enjoying a glass of Canadian rye whiskey, raise a toast to the Whiskey War, a conflict that proved even Canadians know how to fight for their right to party. It's a testament to how even the most serious disputes can be handled with a touch of humor and a lot of class. Aliens, eh? Canada's got a landing pad just in case. Alright, let's talk about aliens, baby. Yes, you heard that right. Aliens and Canada in the same sentence. Now I know what you're thinking. Canada? Aliens? What's next? A Sasquatch riding a moose? It sounds like something out of a wild sci-fi novel, doesn't it? But hear me out on this one. This isn't just some tall tale or urban legend. In St. Paul, Alberta, there's a giant concrete pad that looks like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. It's not just any concrete pad, though, and guess what? It's a UFO landing pad. Yes, an actual designated spot for unidentified flying objects. No, seriously. It was built back in 1967 for Canada's centennial celebrations, a time when the country was looking to the future with hope and imagination. And it's still there today, just waiting for our extraterrestrial overlords to arrive. It stands as a quirky monument to human curiosity and the unknown. Some people think it's a brilliant tourist trap, drawing in visitors from all over the world who are eager to snap a selfie with the pad, while others believe it's a genuine attempt to welcome our alien visitors. A beacon of hope for those who believe we are not alone in the universe. Whatever the case may be, one thing's for sure. If ET ever decides to phone home from Canada, he'll have a pretty sweet landing spot. So next time you're in Alberta, why not check it out? You never know who or what you might meet. Don't toss your pennies, eh? It's the law. Okay, this next one might seem a little strange, but trust me, it makes sense. Kind of. In Canada, businesses are not required to accept a lot of small coins. I know, it seems like a weird law to have. But think about it. Pennies are basically useless. They're heavy, they clutter up your wallet, and nobody wants them. So, to save everyone the hassle, Canada decided to just get rid of them altogether. That's right, we officially stopped making pennies back in 2012. Good idea, right? Wouldn't you like to get rid of those pennies? Or would you like to keep pennies? What do you think? Alright, let's talk about something that's truly awe-inspiring and maybe a little terrifying, one of the world's strongest currents. And guess where it is? You got it, Canada! This beast of a current, known as the Naquacto Rapids, is located in British Columbia, and it's not for the faint of heart. This thing can move up to 18 miles per hour and creates whirlpools so massive and powerful. Unbelievable, right? So unless you're a seasoned sailor with a death wish, it's probably best to admire this natural wonder from a safe distance. Alright, road trip enthusiasts. This one's for you. Canada is home to the world's longest national highway, the Trans-Canada Highway. This bad boy stretches over 4,860 miles, connecting all 10 provinces from coast to coast. That would take you days to drive that route. You'll pass through bustling cities, charming towns, and breathtaking landscapes, all while experiencing the diverse cultures and natural wonders that make Canada so unique. Just make sure you pack some snacks because this is one road trip that's definitely not for the short-winded. Okay, this next one is a real head-scratcher. Back in 2012, Canada experienced a crime worth mentioning. But we're not talking about your average bank robbery or art heist. No, this was something far more sinister and delicious. I'm talking about the Great Canadian Maple Syrup Heist. That's right. Someone stole over 3,000 tons of maple syrup from a storage facility in Quebec. That's a lot of syrup. The thieves were eventually caught, but the legend of the heist lives on. It just goes to show that when it comes to maple syrup, Canadians don't mess around. Alright, let's finish things off with a trip to the coldest place in Canada, and possibly the entire planet outside of Antarctica. I'm talking about Snag, Yukon, a tiny village that holds the record for the lowest temperature ever recorded in North America. Back in 1947, the mercury plunged to a bone-chilling negative 81.4 degrees Fahrenheit. That's so cold your breath would freeze before it even left your mouth. It's the kind of cold that makes you want to curl up in a ball and hibernate until spring. So if you're planning a trip to Snag, pack your warmest long johns, because this is one place where you'll definitely need them. So there you have it, folks. 10 weird and wonderful facts about Canada that prove we're not just a land of maple syrup and politeness. From our abundance of lakes to our love for bizarre laws, Canada is a country that's full of surprises. Which fact surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have any other weird Canadian facts up your sleeve, be sure to share those too. Until next time, stay curious, stay weird, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more awesome videos.